All right, we're back here for sideboarding. One of my big objectives in sideboarding is to try to keep my curve fairly low still because I'm boarding in another Crush of Tentacles and I still want to explore that, and maybe I'll draw it eventually. And for me to facilitate that, I want to keep my curve fairly low. Ross's deck is more of like a synergy deck than like these heavy hitters, so cards like Roast and Crackling Doom are okay, but not great, I think, and I want to focus more on like cleaning up the board with like Radiant Flames, and Reflector Mage is really good for bricking his offense of smaller creatures while also bouncing stuff like Hangerback Walker and various tokens. Uh, Unfortunately, Crackling Doom is very good against his Planeswalkers, but I don't really have anything else that I'm interested in cutting since Kolaghan's Command still is fairly versatile. Answers Hangerback Walker, hits Planeswalkers, things along those lines. So this is where I'm going to start for Game 3.
And I am going to try to make my deck a little bit bigger with Gideon and Evolutionary Leap, so I have a bit more staying power going along. And then I'm bringing some of the counterspell package I have in, not bringing it all in because I don't want to be too reactive. You need, when you're the aggressive deck, you still need to keep in a good amount of your aggressive elements. Otherwise, you just end up sacrificing too much and losing anyway. And I can't bring out all of my removal spells like I normally would like to against a control deck because Jace and Soulfire Grandmaster are so threatening. So I've only brought out one Dromoka's Command, leaving in the other two copies along with the two Silk Wraps. Abzan Falconer is definitely the worst creature in the deck because Majors doesn't do a lot of blocking, so the Outlast ability doesn't do a lot, so this is definitely the one to cut. And then Servant of the Scale and Avatar of the Resolute are two of the creatures in the deck that rely the most on having all of your synergies together to be really powerful, and Major's deck is particularly good at breaking up those synergies, so these are some creatures that are good to shave in the post-board games. I'm also cutting an Oath of Nissa, partially because I'm cutting down on cards to hit off of it, so it's going to be less effective, and partially because even though it's cheap, I sort of want to spend my time in the early game, especially developing my board more. And so the third copy, I think, is superfluous here. So that's it for sideboarding. Stay tuned for Game 3. Hey guys, we're back here for Game 3. I have a slightly awkward hand given my mana situation. My first two lands are going to come into play tapped, but the rest of my hand is really good, so I still think it's a keep.
Missing black mana, but I can play a Jace on turn 2, so I'm going to keep every time.
Okay. Play a Blood Strand and pass.
How
Let's
lucky.
correct this in your turn to shortcut.
Your turn.
Wandering Fumarole.
Yep.
Has a 1/4 that you can switch around.
Yep. Something like that. Sounds right. Red and blue elemental.
Probably gonna lose to it.
I doubt it. I don't think I'm going to have time to attack you with that in this matchup, but we'll see.
Yeah. You sort of win the game with whatever cleanup spells you
It's just like pummel Gideon. Like, that's possible.
Now I have the option of playing either of these two. I think given that next turn I'm hoping to have a third land to double spell with this, I want to give myself the most number of looks at it, which I guess doesn't make a difference then when I cast this. So, And if I draw a third land, I might find something else off of it. So to give myself the most options off the Oath, I'll just play Hardened Skills.
Just a dream come true over here.
Yeah, I'm only 2 for 3 on turn 1 Hardened Skills, though.
I'll fetch a swamp.
That's medium lucky.
Jason, your turn.
Turn 19.
Just dropping cards.
Okay, now I definitely want to hit my third land, so I will Oath.
Okay.
I'd rather have a forest than a plains, because I have some double green cards. Now the question is whether I want to cast this one or this one. I think I'd rather develop my board. Jace is really no danger to flip next turn. So Hangerback, you can go.
Alright, so we have an interesting question. We can... I think no matter what, we're going to be playing this card this turn, but we can either choose to play it now or in Ross's upkeep. If we do it in his upkeep, he obviously has the potential to make lots of tokens, but we can answer with this. And if he activates instead of having 4 mana available next turn, that cuts him off of things like Gideon, which is something I'm definitely interested in. So I think because we kind of have him covered, we are probably just going to default to that, but we can just start by looting. Ooh, that's sweet. Unfortunately, we cannot cast that this turn. I'd love to. The way our hand is set up right now, I definitely think we want all our lands, so I think we're just going to go ahead and discard this. And gonna stick to the plan. Go ahead. During your upkeep, I'm going to destroy your Hangerback Walker and make you discard a card.
I will discard the Stubborn Denial by casting it.
Oh, sure. Alright.
Drop a turn.
Reasonable.
That was a good draw.
That is probably something I should have considered, but I'm not too worried about it.
You know, he has used his Culligan's command, so commanding his Jace and putting in his graveyard is safe, and we get more damage and more counters on our Hangerback this way, and we make sure our command does not get countered by a removal spell. So, counter fight, goes up to 4, attack for 4.
Okay, 14. Pretty good turn for us.
I do it 19. You only cracked 1 fetch.
Ah, yeah, that was last game.
So you're at 15. You can go.
You have 3 cards in hand.
Yep.
Okay, let's just go ahead and try this bad boy out.
Ugh.
Your turn. Can't even play it next turn.
That's
That
just
felt pretty
disgusting. That was very good. Oh my god. I feel so impotent now.
Okay.
So, can't cast Hangerback Walker.
It's true.
So our options are a bit limited. I don't really want to cast this and make it vulnerable. So I guess we could cast this, but that also seems really poor to use this in a Reflector Mage. So I think I'll just throw the Sky away to probably a Fire Impulse. You can go.
Alright, I think we're just going to take this turn off and cast Treasure Cruise. I do not want to get Stubborn Denial again, so we're going to play around that. I'm going to start by fetching, go to 14.
That Reflector Mage was so good. It's unbelievably good.
Alright, I'm going to cast my Treasure Cruise for 4 and deal 4 cards. Leaving... I think we only have 1 Culligan's Command in our deck, so I think we're going to leave that in the graveyard instead of the Jace. Yes! Yes! No guesses as to what I drew. Your turn.
Fourth land is not bad. It means we can double spell. Question is, which of my spells do I want to cast? This is definitely going to be one of them. And I can see a case for any of the other 3. I mentioned last turn that using this in a Reflector Mage seems bad, but will let us attack with the Avatar, which is nice. Could just get both of these down and set up this double spell for next turn. But if we play these 2, then we just play these 2 with this one first, and that maximizes the Sky anyway. So I think I like these 2. Hangerback on 1, Silk Wrap your Reflector Mage, attack for 3.
I'll go to 11.
You can go. Just have to get aggressive while we can.
So I think we're going to plan on this being our course of action for this turn. So I'm going to play a Sunken Hollow, play a Chase, and pass the turn.
Just getting punished on every street. Draw. I will attack for 3.
Alright, I'm going to cast Utter End, targeting your Silker Up.
That is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. What does this card even do? I've
Yeah,
rated so many times.
You can't play it this turn.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I'm just having so much fun.
Ugh. Yeah.
Alright, bounce your hanger back. I'll block it.
Trade.
Go?
Yes. Go.
Alright. I'm at 11 life. I'm going to begin with the painful truth.
I've never felt more blown out in my entire life.
Alright, I'm going to go to 8. Go ahead and activate my Chase. Discard a Flooded Strand, transform. And we're going to tick up on Ross's Baron board, play Soulfire and Mystic Monastery and pass the turn.
Okay, that sort of does something. I'll play Hangerback Walker.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play a Servant of the Scale.
Okay.
I'll play an Avatar the Resolute.
Alright, not a bad turn.
And you can go. Still feel absolutely crushed.
Speaking of crushed.
I didn't even need to make that pun.
Yeah, whatever, let's try this bad boy out. Alright, -3, targeting my Culligan's Command. And we are going to deal 2 damage to your Hangerback Walker and make you discard a card.
Yep.
I'll go to 10.
Discard the second Hangerback Walker that I've never been able to cast.
And then I will crush you.
Even Drago style.
Even Drago. I'll make an octopus. It is your turn. Kind of regret giving him a second opportunity to play his Oath of Nissa, but no big deal.
Okay. So, question is whether or not I want to fetch before I Oath, and the previous Oath left a land and a Nissa on the bottom of my deck, and I would like to find that Nissa. So I will crack. Bring me in
19. Or did 18. I miss a fetch?
I fetched on turn 1.
Okay.
6 cards in hand still. Jesus.
Oh, I just returned 2.
This game has not gone well. So
I've enjoyed every turn.
Awkwardly, I can't cast every spell in my hand because it has actual 5 green mana symbols, and I have only 4 lands that make green. So it's possible I don't even want to Oath this turn, and would rather just play Scales of my 2 creatures, and then Oath next turn, play whatever I Oath into then, which will hopefully be Nissa, and then I'll have some creatures in play. I actually do think that's better. So play Scales, play Servant, it has 2 counters, and play Avatar, which also has 2 counters. You can go.
Okay.
Still can't trade for the Octopus.
Alright, battle.
I will take 8 and a 10.
10.
Cast 3 Painful Truths, please.
That's not gonna happen. Gonna play your favorite friend, Reflector Mage.
Christ. Every time you cast this card, I just can't win.
That's your avatar.
This card might be good.
Play Jace, play Soulfire, and I'll fetch and play another Soulfire.
So you're at 7?
Yep.
Okay. Draw. That wasn't bad. Don't think it's good enough.
Does it contend with a Octopus?
Sort of.
Really? You have Soulcrop?
Silkrap would definitely contend with an Octopus.
That's true.
This one only sort of does it.
I don't know if that's like good flavor, but you know,
Also,
whatever.
You still have Utter End. I guess Silkrap and the Octopus, if the Utter End doesn't do anything.
Nope.
But, I guess I'll Oath first.
Sure.
And we'll select Servant with Scale. Play that one. Play a Gideon, make an ally.
Okay.
You can go.
You're at 10.
Correct.
So I can Radiant Flames for 2, and that's 10 on board.
That it is. Double lifelink, you'll gain so much life.
I'll gain so much life.